Very often I have discussions with my grandmother whether the capitalism is the way to go or socialism like in USSR is the best for people. Honestly, I was a bit tired and fed up trying to explain her, and very often not only to her, the obvious differences between two systems. In this video I'm going to show the biggest evidence that free market and capitalism is in fact the best thing humanity came up with, economic-wise. Take a closer look at this chart. Many scientists are calling it the most important graph in the world. Why do they say that? Because they know this graph reveals a simple, inescapable fact that there is no substitute for free market capitalism as a promoter of human prosperity. Let it be noted that I'm not a stubborn conservative, my mind can change, but when the hard evidence stares me in the face, I'm not going to look away. The graph is based on the research conducted by the late British economist Angus Maddison. The numbers along x-axis are years, 2,000 of them. The numbers on y-axis are dollars, all of them divided by the numbers of people on the planet. That's what's called GDP per capita, which is the world's economic output divided by its population. GDP is considered the best measurement of countries' standard of living. By looking at this graph, you might say that's not capitalism, it's just the impact of the Industrial Revolution. So here's another chart by the Madison Project. This one breaks the GDP into regions. As you can see, there is a number of hockey sticks, but note that they don't rise at the same time. The United States surged first. Why? Well, in very fortunate coincidence, the year 1776 both the signing of the Declaration of Independence and the publication of the book called The Wealth of Nations by the Scottish economist and philosopher Adam Smith. In his book, Smith explained how to create a modern free market capitalism economy and the benefits of doing so. America's wise founders took Smith's principles to heart, and within a mere of 100 years, a blink of an eye historically, capitalism turned the United States from 13 backwoods colonies into the world's largest economy, and it has held that position ever since. Western Europe shot up as well, but later. It rose steadily during the Industrial Revolution and then experienced a sharp rise after the World War II, when between the end of the war and the middle of 1960s, it fully embraced the free market. Japan too shot up after World War II, surpassing Western Europe for the first time in history. Of course, after US helped the Japanese transition to a democracy and a free market capitalism economy. Eastern Europe took off after it was released from the Soviet Union and socialism in 1991. China did likewise after the Chinese moved away from strict socialism and implemented some limited free market policies. And one can only imagine where China would be now if its leaders had fully unleashed the forces of the free market. Yes, during this period of economic expansions, the wealthy got wealthier. And that always happens when new wealth is created. But the middle class and the poor also greatly benefited. Here's another telling chart. This one is from the World Bank. In 1820, 94% of people lived in extreme poverty. Thanks to capitalism, by 2015, that number had declined to only 9.6%. Single digit for the first time in human history. Now, it's still too many, but if we are going to reduce the number even more, we need to understand what caused the decline of free market capitalism in some countries. If we combine the Angus Madison hockey stick chart and the World Bank data on extreme poverty, what we get is something quite amazing: unprecedented global prosperity and unprecedented decline in poverty across the globe over the past 200 years. That's capitalism in a nutshell. One more chart. John Norberg, a Swedish economic historian, shows us how well ordinary people do when they work in a free market economy. Since 1990, hunger, poverty, illiteracy, and child mortality have all declined significantly with the decline of socialism. And this all happened when we added 2 billion more people to the world. For more people, far less poverty, better health, fewer babies dying, etc. That's what economic freedom can do. The President John F. Kennedy said it best while making his case for a significant tax cuts in 1963. He said, "A rising tide lifts all boats." Kennedy didn't believe that the poor only get richer when the rich get poorer. He believed everyone could get richer with economic growth. History has shown that he was right. This whole capitalism versus socialism debate is backwards. It is not those who advocate for free market capitalism who need to justify their actions. Rather, it's those advocating for socialism or any form of it who have a lot of explanation to do. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more education to come. Knowledge is power.